Most gardeners spend money on fertilizers, soil boosters, and quick fixes, only to end up disappointed when their plants struggle year after year. What many don't realize is that the true secret to reviving dead soil lies just beneath our feet. Earthworms are nature's quiet workers, constantly aerating, fertilizing, and regenerating the ground for free. When you create the right conditions for earthworms to thrive, your soil transforms into a living, breathing ecosystem capable of producing healthy, vibrant crops without chemicals. This is the game-changing strategy that can save you money, cut down your workload, and bring dead soil back to life. Why earthworms are the key to healthy soil. Earthworms are more than just wriggly creatures in the soil, they are natural soil engineers. As they move, they create tunnels that improve water infiltration and root penetration. Every mouthful of soil they eat is enriched with beneficial microbes and excreted as nutrient-dense castings, a natural fertilizer far superior to anything you can buy in a bag. Their activity increases organic matter, balances soil pH, and enhances plant growth. A thriving earthworm population is the single best indicator of healthy living soil. Stop tilling and start letting soil breathe. One of the biggest mistakes many gardeners make is over-tilling the soil. While it may look neat, tilling destroys worm tunnels, exposes them to predators, and kills beneficial microbes. Instead, let worms do the tilling for you. By leaving soil undisturbed, worms create deep, permanent channels that roots love to follow. Within a season of no-till gardening, you'll begin to see healthier soil structure and more worm activity. Add organic matter the right way. Earthworms thrive where there is food, and their favorite meal is decomposing organic matter. Adding layers of compost, shredded leaves, or even kitchen scraps directly to the soil surface mimics the forest floor, where worms naturally feed. This surface feeding draws them upward, encouraging population growth. A simple practice is to spread 2 inches of compost or leaf mold over your beds twice a year. This not only feeds the worms but also keeps the soil covered, reducing erosion and moisture loss. Use a simple molasses solution to attract worms fast. There's an easy formula you can use to invite worms into your soil almost overnight. Just mix 2 tablespoons of unsulfured blackstrap molasses with 1 gallon of water and pour it evenly over the soil. The sugar in molasses feeds beneficial microbes, which in turn attracts earthworms to the area. Apply this once a month during the growing season, and you'll notice worm activity increasing dramatically. It's an inexpensive and natural way to jumpstart life in poor soils. Keep the soil moist but not waterlogged. Earthworms breathe through their skin, which means they need a moist environment to survive. Dry soil sends them deeper underground or forces them to leave. On the other hand, waterlogged soil suffocates them. The sweet spot is evenly moist soil that feels like a wrung-out sponge. Mulching with straw, shredded leaves, or grass clippings is an excellent way to retain the right moisture levels, while simultaneously providing a steady food source for worms. Avoid chemicals that kill earthworms. Chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides may give short-term results, but they are devastating for earthworm populations. Synthetic fertilizers create acidic soil conditions, while pesticides poison worms directly. If you want worms to thrive, you must cut back on chemicals and rely on organic practices. Natural pest control, companion planting, and compost-based fertilization not only support worm life, but also create a more resilient garden ecosystem. So let's talk about creating worm havens with mulch and cover crops. You know, a bare garden bed is really just an invitation for soil erosion, dryness, and a loss of worm activity. Earthworms actually prefer dark, cool, and covered environments. By mulching your beds and planting cover crops like clover or rye, you're giving year-round protection and food for worms. Cover crops, in particular, help keep soil temperatures stable and add biomass when you cut them back, fueling the cycle of organic matter that worms totally depend on. Over time, this creates a self-sustaining system where worms naturally multiply. Alright, let's talk about harnessing the power of manure. If you want to really supercharge your worm populations, aged animal manure is honestly one of the best amendments you can use. Cows, horses, and rabbits produce manure that worms absolutely love. Just, make sure it's well-aged or composted before you apply it, since fresh manure can burn plants and actually repel worms. A layer of about 2 to 3 inches spread over your beds in spring or fall will not only feed worms but also inject some long-lasting fertility into your soil. Now let's turn your garden into a worm sanctuary. Attracting worms isn't just about food, it's also about habitat. Gardens that really mimic natural conditions will always end up with more worm life. So provide some shade where you can, keep the soil consistently moist, and try not to compact the ground by walking on your beds. Raised beds are actually excellent habitats for worms because they drain well, stay covered, and are super easy to feed with organic matter. The more hospitable your soil feels, the more worms will show up and stick around. Here's the real payoff of healthy worm populations. Once you get a thriving worm population established, the benefits multiply pretty quickly. Your soil becomes softer and more fertile, so you'll need less watering and fertilizing. Plants develop stronger roots and show greater resistance to disease. Plus, the presence of worms encourages a whole bunch of other beneficial organisms, creating this vibrant underground community. Within about a year, you'll notice your soil transforming from lifeless dust to rich, crumbly earth that actually smells alive. And honestly, the best part is, it costs you nothing but a bit of time and care. So just to wrap things up, reviving dead soil doesn't have to mean expensive products or backbreaking effort. By focusing on creating the right conditions for earthworms, you're unlocking the natural processes that have been regenerating soil for millions of years. Whether it's adding compost, applying a simple molasses solution, or just keeping your garden mulched, every step brings you closer to soil that works for you instead of against you. If you found this guide helpful, and you want more practical, no-nonsense gardening secrets, make sure to subscribe to Crop Corner and share this with your fellow gardeners. Together, let's bring our soil back to life, naturally, for free, and for good.